some of the people who we talked to who are on the inside, who are operators or members of the military intelligence community, they talk about this as, they say it's like mowing the lawn. You know, when jihadism or insurgency rises up above a certain point, you come in and you chop off the leadership of it, knowing that it's going to grow back up. And so that means that you're managing a permanent state of crisis, permanent state of low-level violence. And the grass grows back thicker every time you mow it. So a calculation I think some people are making is that we allow countries like Yemen and Somalia turn into these terrifying places, you know, and just hope that we've wiped out enough of the leadership that they don't have the logistical capability of getting on a plane and coming to the U.S. Andrew Exum, an Army Ranger who fought in both Iraq and Afghanistan, said, you know, we started out in Iraq with the deck of cards, with 55 names of people who, when we killed them, it was supposed to be over. At the end of that list, we had 200. When we got to the end of the list of 200, we had a list of 3,000. So you know, it's a tactic without a strategy. You can be tactically brilliant and take, you know, and succeed in every one of these operations and still end up with more enemies than you kill. Even if you didn't have a political problem with this massive overreach by the executive wing, declaring war without, or fighting covert wars without any oversight, without a declaration from Congress, assassinating people without trial or charges, spying on Americans without probable cause. Even if you had no problem with any of that, it's also been profoundly counterproductive. On September 11th, Al-Qaeda was a tiny organization that was on the run and didn't control any territory. Now there are tens of thousands of members of Al-Qaeda affiliates, and they control swaths of East Africa, West Africa, parts of Yemen. Yeah, I mean, the war has produced spirals of violence that we all need to find a way to exit. I mean, the film began as an investigation of how the covert war was eclipsing the conventional war. And I think a lot of people who were in an anti-war movement in the US and Europe were organizing against the conventional war and were calling for troop withdrawals. But at this point, the special operations forces are going to stay in Afghanistan, and they're going to continue to have their kill list to work through. So while the conventional wars wind down, the covert war is accelerating and expanding. Obama will be credited with ending 2 conventional wars, the war in Iraq and Afghanistan. But under Bush, JSOC was authorized to operate in 26 countries around the world. Under the Obama administration, that's expanded to over 70. So the covert war is rapidly expanding at the same time that the conventional wars might be winding down. We are not politicians, and we're not pundits, and we don't have a partisan axe to grind. This issue in this war is bigger than political party, and it's bigger than the office of president, frankly. I mean, these programs were begun under Republicans, intensified under Democrats, and I have no doubt if there was a Republican president, we'd be having the same debates and the same sort of thing would be happening. The point is that this change, if there's going to be a change in the direction that we're taking with this war, it's going to come from below. It's going to come from the American people, you know, finally realizing what's being done to their country and in their name, and standing up and demanding some kind of change.